guys, welcome to Just Fit Me. I'm Susan and this is my kitchen. So what I wanted to do today is actually to do my Whole30 version of a British shepherd's pie. Now I'm a type of cook who gets into the kitchen and is like, okay, I've got this, and I'm just going to throw a bit of this, a bit of that, a bit of this in there, see how that tastes. So I tend to not follow recipes, or I loosely follow recipes and then sort of make it my own. So I figured I would share with you today how I'm cooking a Whole30 version of shepherd's pie. So I'm just going to get started in just a sec, actually. I forgot to get some things out of the fridge. Whoopsie. There we are. I forgot kind of like the key ingredients. So I'm going to see if I can get you in a little bit closer. I don't know if you can maybe see what exactly I'm doing. But anyway, so I'm starting with a cast iron skillet. I'm also going to preheat my oven to, preheat my oven to 375. Preheating the oven to 375. And the reason is because we're going to be baking this after it's all said and done. So I've got my cast iron skillet. I've minced up some garlic and I'm just going to toss the garlic. All I did was 2 cloves of garlic. I love garlic. I was almost going to put 3 in there, but you know, I didn't do 3. And a little bit of olive oil. And I'm going to get that going on the stove. Would help if I got the right stove on. So I'm going to get that going on the stove. I don't think, actually, I did a little bit of olive oil, just to get that started. Actually, I think it's pretty good. And then I got this from Trader Joe's. It's called mirepoix. I think I'm pronouncing correctly. It's mirepoix. It's celery, carrots and onion. So it's basically what you would use as a starter for soups and things like that, soups and stews. Now all of this is going to go into my shepherd's pie anyway. I really love carrots and celery in a shepherd's pie, so I'm just going to be adding this. And I love the fact that this is super convenient and it's already pre-chopped for me. Hello laziness. But any additional help I can get, I'm I'm all about it. So I'm gonna whack this off, because as soon as that garlic gets going, I'm gonna add in the onion bit, which means I've got to scoop off the celery. Didn't think of that. Sorry that I keep moving out of camera, sorry. I've just got this set up so that you can kind of watch me cooking. Don't know if that's really going to be of interest to you. But the reason why I'm doing this is because I absolutely love shepherd's pie. And even though I'm doing the Whole30 version of it, I am going to be making it with a potato top, a mashed potato top this time. I have done in the past a mashed cauliflower topping, and also, have you ever done mashed broccoli? Mashed broccoli, I find, is absolutely delicious. It looks green, so you've got like a mash of green on your plate. It's not like mashed peas coloured. It's more like that vibrant green when you do it. I love mashed broccoli, but I've done both shepherd's pie with a mashed broccoli top as well as a mashed cauliflower. So that garlic's starting to cook, and I'm just going to throw in the onion with it, because you want the onion to sort of cook so that it just gets to that point where it is almost like clear, translucent. Yeah, I'm going to save the rest of that. So you want it to be a little bit translucent. Oh, I wish you could smell through the camera, I really do. There's something about garlic I absolutely love. I probably should have put in 3 cloves. I love this stuff. And it's really good for your heart too. So preheating the oven to 375, cooking the onions and the garlic together. Just giving that a couple of minutes. And then what I use is organic ground turkey. And I really don't eat a lot of red meat. Shepherd's pie or even cottage pie calls for like minced lamb or minced ground beef. I don't eat too much red meat, so I've gone with the organic ground turkey version, which is also just as nice. I really quite like it. Oh, that's going nicely. So yeah, so I use ground turkey, and again, got that from Trader Joe's. I love Trader Joe's. I don't know if any of you have a Trader Joe's near you, but it's a great place. So I'm going to throw the turkey in, get that cooking, and what I'm also going to do is to put on the potatoes. So I have a pot over here that I'm going to be cooking the potatoes in so that I can mash them. And what I've done is pre-chopped the potatoes into sort of equivalent smallish size so that they cook faster. And I'm just going to throw those into the pot, and I'm going to boil those. So I'm going to boil the potatoes so that they get going cooking. Let's see if we can put the light on here. Surface light. There we go. And then there was light, and we can see what we're doing. So getting the turkey cooking. And the magic actually with this happens when you put in all of your spices. Again, I don't follow a recipe. I never follow recipes. So I just whack in a bit of this, bit of that, throw in a bit of this, a little bit of salt, pepper, and it changes on the day of what smells really good to me. So I've mixed in the ground turkey with the onion and the garlic, and that's cooking. I've got it on sort of like medium high. It's not medium, but it's not high, so I've got it in between medium and high, because I just don't like the stuff being burnt. So got that going, and then I've got a load of spices over here, so I'm going to show you. I'm going to throw in a little bit of rub sage, just a little rub sage. This is quite strong. Oh, it just smells so lovely, and it's really quite strong. So I add a little bit of that in, a little bit of thyme. And again, I don't measure anything. I just throw stuff in there. I do love how stuff tastes. Basil. Basil's going in there. Oh God, that reminds me of my friend. So I have a friend here in California, and she makes me say all the names of the spices, because she says the way that I say stuff is very different from Americans, and it cracks her up. And basil's one of them. So basil's getting thrown in. We love some basil. The next one, oregano. Americans say oregano, but in England we say oregano. So I'm throwing in some oregano. I'm really generous and quite liberal with my herbs and spices, just because I love flavour. And then I'm going to throw in some cayenne red pepper, just to give it a little bit of heat. Not much, just a little sprinkle of cayenne pepper for that additional heat. And then I love some smoked paprika, and Trader Joe's sells it in this massive can, which I use quite frequently. But I'm adding in just a smidge of the smoked paprika to give it that lovely like smoky flavour, because in my Whole30 version of the shepherd's pie, I'm not adding any Worcestershire sauce to the sauce, to the base. I'm not adding any of that in there. I'm not adding in any bouillon cubes or anything like that. So I'm trying to get my flavours through the use of all the herbs and spices. And oh God, that smells gorgeous. So that the smoked paprika just gives it that smoky flavour, that I am not going to get because I'm not putting in any Worcestershire sauce. And the reason I'm not putting in any Worcestershire sauce is because I don't have any in the house. And somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that Worcestershire sauce has added sugars in it, and which is not Whole30 approved. It's like how I'm stabbing the meat. It just sort of breaks it up, makes it crumbly. So mixing all of that together, I said I wasn't adding in a bouillon cube, but what I am going to throw in, and I've got to go off camera for this because it's right behind the camera, but I'm going to throw in a little of the turkey stock. So hang on a sec. I went off camera. I love this stuff. I got it from Trader Joe's, and it is, hi, oh, I've done this again. Wait for it to focus. This is turkey bone broth. Come on. Why does it, there we go. Turkey bone broth. Whole30 approved. I'm gonna check. 0 sugars in here. It's 0 sugars in here. This is, I love this stuff. It's Whole30 approved. So I want to get just a little juice going in there. Oh, there are the scissors. There are the scissors. And so I cook a lot with the bone broth that I can find at the supermarket, because you've got to be careful with all of the other available like stock, beef stock and stuff like that. If you look at all the ingredients, they have sugars added in, and I don't understand, why do you have to add in cane sugar to everything? It just doesn't make any sense. So the bone broth, really good stuff, look for it. I know in the regular supermarkets you can actually find bottles of actual bone broth where the meats are being sold, you know, with in the meat fridge section. So now that that's cooking, I'm going to throw in the celery. I think there's a leafy bit right there. We don't want the leafy bit. I'm throwing in the celery, throwing in the carrots. For the veggies. And then I'm also, again, I add hot stuff. So frozen, because everything for me, I don't go through stuff. I'm a single chef, right? Single chef. I'm a single person living on my own, and when I cook, so if I go to the supermarket and get all the fruits and veg that I need, I find that all the fresh produce goes off really quickly before I can even consume it. So I get a lot of frozen stuff, so that all of the produce lasts longer. So I've got frozen bell peppers, green, yellow and red, that I like to throw a whole load in. Give it some veg, some substance. And then I also like to throw in spinach. I eat so much spinach. Chopped spinach, frozen chopped spinach. I eat so much spinach during the day because I have 2 cups of spinach in the morning with my smoothie, and then any time I'm cooking for myself, you know, kind of like one of these one pot meals or something, I throw in chopped spinach with everything. I don't like spinach on its own. Like if you were to get it as like a spinach salad, I don't like it because it makes my tongue feel furry. I don't like it. It feels like it just gives my tongue a coating. I don't like it. But the 2 cups of spinach goes in my smoothie every morning, and then I like to add it to my actual dishes. So just mixing all of this together, and then I'm going to pull the camera in so you can see sort of what it looks like. And those potatoes are still going. I should have had those potatoes going a while ago. They take a little bit longer, but that's all right. I'm just going to cook all of this. And here, I'll show you what it looks like. Oh, come here. Well, there we are. There it is. So this is sort of what it looks like, all cooking together. And I'm just going to let that go for a little bit. is going to cook, and then I'm going to do the potatoes, and it's just going to take a few minutes, so I'm just going to pause the video for a second, and then hop back on when everything's ready to go, that I'll start mashing stuff up, throwing it together, and I'll show you how it's going to go straight into the oven. So I'll be right back. Okie dokie, I'm back, and just poured out the water for the mashed potatoes. And so what I'm doing actually in the mashed potatoes, I'm going to add in a tablespoon of clarified ghee. This is Whole30 approved, and this also replaces butter. So everybody was like, how on earth can you mash potatoes or make mashed potatoes without using milk or butter? Well, clarified ghee is the key. Well, that rhymed. How lame. That rhymed. So yeah, I just throw in a little bit of ghee in there, and I just leave in a little bit of that, like I don't really get rid of all of the water from the mashed potatoes or from the potatoes. I just sort of like dump them out, then throw them right back in. So there's a little bit of water remaining in the bottom here so that they're easier to mash. And then I add in the ghee and just mash away. Now what you can do is the exact same process with a head of cauliflower or a head of broccoli, and you would do the same thing. You would chop it all up into, you know, reasonable size, even size pieces, boil it so that they're cooked, then tip out the water, throw in about a tablespoon of ghee, mash it, and then you've got your mashed cauliflower or mashed broccoli, and you can use that as a side dish for anything. That exact same recipe, use that as a side dish for anything. So I've got the potatoes nicely done. I like mine a little bit lumpy, and won't lie, I like it a little bit lumpy. So now that that's done, I'm going to take a glass square container, and this is what I'm going to throw the meat in the bottom, because this is what's going to go into the oven. So I'm just going to put the meat that's all cooked with the veggies in there and throw that on the bottom of it. And yeah, and then I'm going to put the potatoes on top, and the oven is already preheated, so that's all ready to go. Now it's not like, there isn't a gravy to this. It's really just, you know, like the meat and the veggies have been cooking in a bone broth. So it's not, so there isn't like a gravy to it that you might typically find in a shepherd's pie. So there we go. That's what it looks like in the dish. Oh, look at all that steam. So it looks like that in the dish. Then I'm going to put the mashed potato on top of it, and then throw it in the oven. Oh no, wipe that off, hang on. So I'm just going to put the mashed potato, you can't even see what I'm doing right now. Nope, you still can't see what I'm doing. I'm just putting the mashed potato on top. Just throwing it, throwing it on top of it. I'm also not the most tidiest chef in the kitchen. I get stuff everywhere every time I cook, but that's fine. Because cleaning up is half of the fun of eating as well, so that's all good. So there we go, that's the last of the potato, and I'm just going to take the spoon that I had with the clarified ghee and sort of just, you know, mash it all into the corners, make it all nice and soft and cohesive, so it's all one level, leveling it out, throwing it in the corners, because this is just going to go into the oven and it's going to cook. Again, the oven should already be preheated, and I told you to put it at 375. So mine is already done, it's at 375, it's just waiting for the potatoes to be done. And here we go. I like it a little bit messier on top, like so, because when you've got like the raised ridges like that, they get nice and crispy in the oven. So all I want to do now is throw this into the oven. Oh, that's hot. grabbed it by the bottom like an idiot. There we go. It's in the oven. So it's going in the oven now for 20 minutes. 20 minutes. Timer. 20 minutes. It's going for 20 minutes. It's just going to cook a little bit longer in the oven. Really get everything all going together, and it's just going to set that potato beautifully. 20 minutes in the oven and it is done. And that will be a shepherd's pie. So I am just going to go sit down, have a cup of tea, and then I'm going to come back on after 20 minutes and show you how it looks at the end. So yeah, go have a drink. I'll be right back. Okay, it's done. It's out of the oven and this is the finished product. Here it is. There it is. So it didn't brown as I wanted it to brown, so I threw on the broiler just to give it that really nice browning on top, and then you can see all of the meat underneath. You have to excuse my my countertop is absolutely still filthy. I was waiting for it to cool down so that I could clean it off. But there you go. That's the finished product. That is my version of Whole30's shepherd's pie. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give me a thumbs up if you did, and if you want to leave some comments, please comment below. That would be awesome. And hit the subscribe button if you really would like to get the notifications that we are doing more videos. Join us on our health and wellness journey. So I will see you next time. Take care.